Following on from the debate, which 21st century skills do you think are not being taught but should be in schools?
Well, we discussed a range of skills that need to be better taught in schools and throughout our education systems, from technical skills, the underpinning of maths and logic to make sure that people can embrace the critical thinking, and ultimately some people will go on to become developers and coders and engineers, but also the softer skills. So, in this 21st century world, the human relationships are a really crucially important part of success. So, ensuring that people can develop those relationship skills of motivating others, of leadership, of communicating, really important. But I think perhaps the most important thing for the 21st century, when there is so much uncertainty, in fact, the only constant is change, and the pace of change is really intense with technological advances, meaning that the amount of information in the world is just hugely exploding. People need to be able to adapt to that change. And we need our education system to be helping young people develop those skills of resilience, adapting and thriving on change.
You've done a lot of great work as a Minister for Women and Equalities to call on experts to drive forward action to encourage more females into STEM education. What do you think it will take to get more women into these typically male-dominated professions?
Well, it's been quite refreshing and good to see lots of women here at the OEB conference, which is quite unusual for a technology conference, though I suppose the education focus perhaps helps with that. There is still a huge underrepresentation of women in STEM subjects, and it's a big problem for our economies because we're missing out on huge talent. What we do need to do is think right from the very earliest points about the stereotypes that we put on children, whether it's toys, whether it's clothes, whether it's what we say to children about what they could do, what their ambitions could be. We need companies to be much more flexible and look at where their problems are with gender. Having transparency on things like gender pay, having more diverse boards, all of these are really important. And we also need to make sure the education system is encouraging girls as much as boys to take these subjects.
Do you think that sort of thing's already happening? Like with your work, did you notice some kind of best practices where this is already being embraced in schools?
There are some pockets of best practice, there are some areas where there's improvement, but it's a huge job to be done because this isn't a problem that exists on its own. It's part of the whole wider issues of sexism and gender inequality, of assumptions being made about what are girls' jobs, what are boys' jobs, what children can do, and sort of constraining their ambitions at a really early age. So to change that cultural environment does take quite a lot of time. There's some positive signs, but there is a long way to go.
Just one more question. Can you describe your OEB experience?
This has been an inspiring and interesting and creative experience. I've obviously really enjoyed the debate. It was very lively and very close. There was hundreds of people there very engaged in this. The exhibition here has been absolutely buzzing, and it's wonderful to be in Berlin, a city which I haven't visited before. So thank you very much for inviting me. It's been lovely to be here.